And next for Generation Selects from Hasbro Pulse, we are getting a redeco of Kill the Jumper in the form of Hubcap. So, Hubcap, you, let me step back for a second. So, the character of Hubcap has never really quite gotten the attention that either Cliffjumper or Bumblebee have. He was released as part of the original G1 toys that were the little penny racers. So yeah, it does have their same mold, but he just never appeared in the original G1 cartoon. So most people today would probably pick up his toy and go, "Oh, orange-faced Bumblebee. That's interesting," but it's actually a different character. So he's never really had much love, which is just a shame. This character just does not get the attention that the other two get. Even Cliffjumper is pretty much just Red Bumblebee in most people's opinions. So Hubcap getting his own toy is kind of a big deal in a way. But he does look like he's just a recolor of Cliffjumper, so I think he might just always bear the unfortunate existence of being that green Mario character. Now we are getting a Bumblebee. It's unclear to me at this time if it's going to be a Netflix exclusive, as he does appear in the Netflix series, or if this is going to be a retail wide release. I think that they probably should do a retail release of Bumblebee since he's, of course, such a popular character. And what's really great about this is it's not a redeco of Cliffjumper. It's actually more of a retool. He doesn't sport the Camaro look anymore. He does have his classic 1986 Bumblebee appearance. I'm definitely getting the Herbie vibes from this German Volkswagen Beetle Bug Boy. There's just something about Volkswagen Beetles that is just it always brings back images of good beach fun. And Bumblebee, the figure, will have the same kind of backpack shield parts forming that Cliffjumper has. But it looks fine on this. It doesn't bother me. The parts forming, I understand. And on this one, he also comes with his bazooka, a weapon. That bazooka is pretty much just a carryover from the Cliffjumper figure, but it can attach to him to form a little cannon, and you can put little skids under the wheels to slide around in the snow, I suppose. Anyway, this is looking like a real must-have figure. Unless you've already got like 10 other Bumblebees, then I don't know. But it is now a Volkswagen Beetle, so that might swing your vote to this way to pick up this figure. And lastly, through Netflix, there's going to be another spoiler box to be released, similar to the release of the redeco of Ultra Magnus for Netflix, which came with a new Ultra Magnus with different colors, but also came with an Energon rung, and he came with a little pile of Play-Doh, I think, that you could dig little Energon cubes out of, as well as little blast effects too. So this is a box collection, which we don't know yet what's going to be inside. It's rumored that it might be Shockwave and Redeco, or it could be a new version of Double Dealer. Although I don't think it'll be a Double Dealer, as I think that if they do make a redeco of Double Dealer, it'll probably be more like the Japanese color release of that character. It would just make more sense to release Double Dealer a second time that way. And this might be reserved for a Decepticon leader class figure that we might have already seen. I think Astro Train is a better candidate for this. As for what other components might be coming along with this, some clever Transformers fans have already decoded some of the Cybertronian on it, and it relates to, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's apparently the name of a weapon that's been used as a sword and as a bird in the past for previous figures. Let me see if I can figure it out. But this would be probably a re-release of Taraxodon in a different paint scheme, I'm assuming. It would probably make sense that way. Then there's going to be an Impactor that's going to have the same Netflix Siege treatment with a new redeco and more battle damage. It So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to pick up this figure through the other lines, here's a different new chance to pick this guy up. I think he does sport slightly different paint schemes, but it does look like it sports the same engineering. It's the same mold as the others for this guy. So yes, there's this guy. Moving along, Hasbro did make an updated announcement for the previously mentioned Rotorstorm release, where they inaccurately showed the correct colors, but with Spinister's head. So now they just want to make the correction that Rotorstorm is getting his proper head when it is released. So yeah, the Fans First Friday folks just wanted to make it a point to make sure people know that he is getting his proper head this time around. Wrapping up all of the Netflix releases, they are going to re-release Optimus Prime in his Earthrise stylings as an exclusive with two Battle Masters. There's going to be a golden Taraxodon and a golden Sound Barrier coming along with him so that he could wield them as a shield and as an axe in order to I think the idea is to recreate the Energon weapons that he had on the first episode of the original Transformers, where he was on the Sherman Dam fighting Megatron, and he had the Energon axe come out of his hand. So I think that's what they were going for here. I'm not really sure if this is going to resemble the kind of Ultra Magnus that we had in the past, where some fans have called that the piss color Ultra Magnus. It could work. I mean, the yellowing can come off as a little unsightly. Otherwise, it from the renders, it looks like they might be kind of cool, unless you already have Taraxodon and Sound Barrier. But you could think of the Sound Barrier as kind of key to Vector Sigma if you'd like. Also, the Energon Axe thing is a pretty cool idea, although if you have not seen it yet, there's also a Centurion release coming out as a weapons pack that does come with an Energon weapon for Optimus Prime, so you might go with that one. I think that would probably look a little bit closer to the G1 cartoon. I think that the real draw here is you can pick up an Optimus Prime without the trailer if that is something you didn't really need, and it will be able to be at a price point that is a little bit lower so that you can go with Battle Masters instead of the trailer. I think that's just a trade-off that's available to collectors. I think this is a fine set. I personally would like to pick up the Battle Masters, and I might just go with the Optimus Prime that already came out with the trailer release, as that looks more G1y to me, but to each their own. So now let's move along to a different set of exclusives. Amazon is also getting an exclusive set of 2 releases, and this is going to be A 2-pack of Ironhide and Prowl alongside the Decepticon 2-pack of the Conehead Seekers. Uh, this is going to be Ramjet and Dirge. I had previously mentioned Prowl is going to be released as the Netflix release, but I was mistaken. It looks like Prowl is going to be part of this set right here. So let's take a look at these in closer detail. Ironhide comes in an Earth mode van this time, and you can see that he is a pretty much a retooling of his siege body, but now has the little canopy that he can parts form as a shield. Which, again, the argument of parts forming is going to be, well, it's not really a transformer if it keeps on splitting apart and coming into pieces. Although with Ironhide, I can see how they could make an exception to that rule because the original G1 toy was pretty much not even a proper action figure. It was kind of more like a little base that didn't even have a proper head. So this is now an Ironhide that has a proper head, proper proportions, and yes, it does have a bit of parts forming, but I think that we can manage with that. With Prowl, I had mistakenly thought that Prowl was going to be released a different way, but no, this is the 2-pack partner that he comes with, and he looks stunning. This is a really nice updated version of the Prowl figure. With the proper Earth mode as well. So I think this is a really good set that is coming out through Amazon. Ramjet and Dirge, on the other hand, come as a 2-pack to menace the forces of the Autobots, with the mold being a remold of the Seekers like Starscream and Thundercracker from Earthrise. The main differences are that the wings are a little bit retooled. They're bent up or bent around to better resemble the cone heads from G1. And it's nice to get a little bit of a variation too. These characters usually get the scraps of the releases. So it's lucky that we get to have the cone heads anytime that they're released. It's always fun to see these guys, although they are going to be the eternal henchmen for the foreseeable future. We have not yet had a release announcement for Thrust, but he should be coming along at some point in the near future as well. So I think that wraps it up. That's been a whole bevy of new releases. I'm really excited about all these new things. Me personally, I'm mostly focused on the Soundwave Patrol pack and the Quintesson pack that's going to be released. I'm really of two minds here because I've already pre-ordered the Quintesson Judge, and I think that the colors for this one are stunning and premium enough that I might cancel that one. But I don't know, maybe I'll just keep the Quintesson pre-order and just have a set of 3 Quintessons with one main judge and then 2 retail paint scheme judges. And the bailiff would look pretty good alongside the retail Elecon. So maybe I'll just pick up this set and beef up this diorama a little bit. Maybe get a few more Sharkticons in there and make this look really nice. And then you can add Hot Rod and Cup from Titan's Return. Although eventually they'll probably release Hot Rod and Cup as part of Season 3 for War for Cybertron trilogy.